Good morning, Chicago. How's everybody doing? Are you guys tired from rocking it out last night? No?
Billy, how's your foot?
More so from just walking up the flights of stairs.
Billy is. Can you guys do me a favor? Put your hands together for one, the only, Mr. Rose!
Are taking pictures, or some people over vibes last night at the show. And you guys are here. And you all are here. This is the day where it all comes together. Jared and Jensen are in the building. But it doesn't stop there. We got Alexander Calvert. We got Ruth Connell. And we've got this man, the legend, the genius comedian, the sensitive soul, more sensitive than you think. He's got quick wit and a sharp tongue. He takes no prisoners. He's my buddy, Mr. Richard Spike.
Oh, this has brought me great joy. This has brought me great joy. I don't get to see this very often. It's been too long since I've got to see this. There's been a pause in joy for this one vision that I'm having right now. Is it being in Rosemont? Oh, sure, that's grand. This is day 3. I've been here. Is it seeing the fellas? Well, I mean, I love seeing the fellas. Fellas, it's great to see you guys. But I've seen the fellas. Been in the trenches with the fellas for nigh on 3 days now. But I rarely, it must have been pre-pandemic a couple of times ago that I saw this. And now that I'm walking on stage, I didn't know it was going to happen, so I'm a little flummoxed. Because as you all know, anybody who's asked about these intros we do, these are fully scripted events. We all have our dialogue, we all memorize our lines, we rehearse for about 6 to 8 weeks.
This is my line, where I interrupt you to say this is my line.
And you nailed it, the timing is perfect. And then you walk backwards, you're blocking, you got it, it's unbelievable. We have a wardrobe person back there. We've worked with some of Broadway's best choreographers so I can learn to do this. I wanted to do something more like this, but they said, no, that's too flashy. But then I said, can I work in the fact that I can't do this and call it too flashy as part of the show? They said, yes. So we did. That's what you just witnessed. This is all a well-oiled machine. And still within the framework of that machine, there are surprises. There are things that I don't know are gonna happen. Me, the guy with the red-tipped microphone. You think that's a symbol of authority, and you're not wrong. Like a judge's gavel. But in this case, even with that in my hand, I did not know this was gonna happen. What is it, you ask? I don't care if you think. Get to it, you whisper. Oh, I will. This is what I'm excited about. It has been pre-pandemic, 2019, maybe 2018, since I've seen Rob Bennett on this stage with those shakers. And that means one thing and one thing only. When I introduce this band today, they all show their skills, peddle their wares, their musical gifts. We get to see a full-on, double whammy, two-fisted, old-school Jackson County shaker solo from Rob Bennett. It's been too long! I know what a lot of young people are thinking. You're turning to your chaperone and you're going, Daddy! Daddy! What's the shaker? What's that incredibly handsome man talking about? There's a big group from southern Chicago here. Southern talk. Daddy, what's the shaker? Well, boy, when I was a youngster, we wanted to make music. We didn't have no get stick or licking harp. Why, we'd just take the can and pop all the spray with beverage, throw in some rocks, stomp our boots on the old fishing log, and give it a old shake. Now, as you see, it doesn't make any noise if you're just pretending. But when you have something like that in your hand, well, you make it music. Daddy! Why didn't they farm that out to China to manufacture a plastic version with synthetic beads in it? Well, son, they done did it. And that's what Rob Benedict's holding right there. Professional grade, not for home use, shakers. In the wrong hands, that shit'll kill you. Oh yeah, laugh your freaking face off. But I swear, you go get yourself a shaker, go home and start shaking, it's just gonna burn. Your hands, life, your house, marriage fall apart. That's because your wife's in love with Billy, but also, Billy's shaker adjacent. There's gotta be some correlation there, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on the heels of me introducing the boys in the band, which I'm gonna do starting right now. On the drum kit, wearing arguably the most comfortable shoes on stage. Barely shoes, mostly socks. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is Mr. Stephen Norton. Line, please. You didn't read the script? Oh wait, oh no. Thank you, not that hard. That whole bit was scripted. On the bass guitar, he's all chips and motherboard, but they made him so lifelike that he's a joy to talk to. Wearing now broken in leather boots with a supple sole, soft top. Proving that Ruth Connell loves machine more than man. It's Roboot Michael Borja. See, they're comfortable shoes. You can't do those in stiff shoes. Wow. wow. And wearing the spring ensemble, Robot Mike is wearing a jacket that flows nicely over his denim shirt. His jeans, padded, spacious, but also tight. They say, hello ladies, I'm available, but also, I like to ride hard. And of course the new shoes. Just so you know, if there's anybody wondering, you cannot unsee that. So there's no way to erase that from your brain. Joining the band. I don't intend to want to unsee that, baby. That's right up here for Hermes. Joining the band on stage last night, all weekend, helping us out on Friday, introducing people on and off stage, and just generally a great guy with whom we love to sing and dance and frolic. It's Mr. Jason Mears, everybody! All right, here he goes. As always. Right behind me. Body by God, soul by Satan. Skill harnessed from the underworld. Truly a marriage wrecker of a man whose sole purpose in life is to make you love him and then break you and leave you in shards. All while wearing a freshly broken in pair of Red Wings. Ladies and gentlemen, formerly known as Bloody Arches, it's Billy Moran! And fronting this ensemble and doing what we haven't done in so long. We haven't done this in so long. On the shaker, singer, writer, actor, comic, and shakist, Mr. Robert Patrick Benedict doing the shakers. Now, Rob, I want to give you some instruction on what I want you to see you do here. Okay, you ready? Now, Rob is an interpretive shakist. Whatever I tell Rob to do, Rob can do in shaker form, and it's pretty brilliant. So Rob, give me professional baseball player. We're the Chicago Cubs are nearby. Let's do professional baseball player, all right? Here we go. Wow, yeah. Nicely done, nicely done. Now, Steve, sing me the Chicago theme, if I may. Mr. Al Capone. Mr. Al Capone. Known from The Untouchables, he did some scenes that were very violent. Al Capone. Oh, shit. Chewing gum was just magic. And last but not least, my favorite shaker solo of all time. A lot of restaurants here in Chicago serve this. Please give us the shaker version of the Tableside Caesar. It's delicious and musical. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Rob Benedict. This is the band. Boys, let's get this party started. Keep on turning, and the wind's going around. Look to the wind and go to hold in the money to go all down. Look out. Won't you be my girl? Cause I'm wonderful to have you out here. Robbie, never fail to crush the shaker solo. Great job. It's been a
Bring that back. It's been a while.
No, it's so exciting. Well, I literally, you had those out. Oh, well, we're going to go.
Yeah.
Did not know that was going to happen. Even though we've scripted this thing
Yeah.
to an airtight form, we still get surprises every now and then, don't we, Reboot? See, he had no lines there in the script, so he couldn't say anything.
Yeah. It was all blocking.
It's all blocking. Working perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Someone run
Hey,
out
listen, that's not where he's supposed to talk, but I can't blame him. You know why? He's nervous.
And?
Because there's a lot of will they, won't they energy about to hit the stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
We've been wondering for years.
Yeah.
I know which side I'm buttoning on. But we'll have to wait and see.
You know what side you're button on?
Well, sure. I said betting on, but
Sure.
hey,
I didn't realize that's the bet.
Tomato, tomato. Ladies and gentlemen, here to prove that a witch can love a robot, Ruth Connell.
She's a black magic woman. She's a black magic woman. She's a black magic woman. Got me so blind that I can't see.
She's got a rooster. She's walking laying down.
She's a black magic woman and she's gonna make a devil of mine.
Don't put the water on the chin.
She's such a black magic woman. Oh my God, she's so hot. She's a black magic woman.
Wearing her nice tan pants.
She's a black magic woman and she likes her men to help as robots.
She's not gonna let him off the hook.
She's a black magic woman and I don't know what rhymes with robots. Botox.
If anybody ever wondered, why didn't Rob ever become like a street rapper? Well, it's the rhyming. I think that got him. That got the whole deal short. I was just telling Ruth backstage that I just love her whole ensemble. Like it's classy, it's fancy,
It's all new.
you know, it's ready for a night in the town or a walk in the park, you know what I mean?
This is my chance to get dressed up. Like I get my outfits for my cons. Like I'm like, this is my Chicago. This is my
This is
cheap on
Chicago.
Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is from the Chicago collection. Everybody, Ruth Connell!
This was me pressing your robot buttons. You got it. I already just banged myself in the mouth, so that's the kind of Sunday it's going to be. How are you all? Are you ready for those two big gallopers? Jensen and Jared? Is that their names? You know, the one with the symmetrical freckles. And the one who's taller than God, literally. Which might not be that difficult, depending on who your God is. Not to get too philosophical or too deep too quickly. Hi! Who here is from Chicago? Who's from Chicago and the surrounding areas? Less people. And who's from out of town? So you all traveled to be here. Are you having a good time? Has it been worth it so far? Well, I'm really glad because we've got some pentagrams and symbols burnt into the back of the hall, and so, it did cost you your souls to be here today. I hope that's okay with y'all.
Bargain basement.
Yeah! It's totally worth it for a Sunday with us believers. So there are still some teenagers backstage, but I don't know, should I terrorize them again today or no? Yes. That's the point of having teenagers, you're right, to terrorize them. Well, I'll just do it straight away. I'll get it over with quickly. They didn't think I would do this to them twice in 2 days. Did you? You didn't think I would do this again, did you? You look really tired. It's been a long weekend, hasn't it? You're okay. You're just going to play snap there. Do you want to come and say hi again? You're going to come? Audrey? Really? You don't have to, don't worry. You're shy, don't worry. Oh, here they are, right? Okay, so let's terrorize teenagers. This is a new thing we're going to do. Okay, so what can I do to terrorize teenagers? What should I do? Ask them tricky questions. Can anyone think of a tricky question for a teenager? No?
What health insurance plan should you get?
What did she say?
What health insurance plan should you get?
What do you think about that?
The one that's the best.
Good answer. I think you failed to terrorize this teenager. Who else has got a question? Yeah? Okay. Oh! What?
The same question I asked someone the other day, but teenagers struggle with this more than adults.
Okay.
So, would you rather go 24 hours without your cell phone or 24 days without human contact at all?
Cell phone? Human contact is so important.
Aww. Again, see, you failed to terrorize the teenagers. These teenagers are unterrorizable. Is that a word?
What do you
Make
want to
them
do
dance.
when you grow up?
Oh. We're not going to make you dance. You've done great, guys. Listen, thank you so much for being here and being such good sports. Everyone give them a round of applause. Calvin and Ali. Okay, go and terrorize your sister and Riley there. But whoever was the smart ass that said make them dance, put your hand up. Because you know what I'm going to do to you, don't you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, so I've forgotten about this because on a Sunday I used to make people dance. So everyone, what's your name? D. Everyone can blame D because you're going to have to dance in about 10 minutes. And I'm going to film you all and stream it to like about 100,000 people. I am going to answer like a question or so because apparently that's my job. But then we'll get right back to the dancing. So don't worry, you can put the lights back down for now. And then we'll turn them back up for the dancing. Thank you. What's that? Oh yeah. He's all set up for We Believe in Miracles because they know that's my tune. Okay, what's your name? Where are you from? What the hell do you want?
Hi, my name is Katie. I was up here yesterday.
Brave.
I just like you a lot. On your first season, season 10, by the end of the season, you were on more episodes than any other woman in supernatural history.
At that point, it's changed since then, but yeah.
So I wanted to ask you what it was like coming into such a male environment as like the most prominent and long-lasting female woman. Yeah.
You know, thank you for your question, and I'm going to just, I've not formulated an answer to this, so I'm just going to see what comes out. I was so not thinking about that. I just was thinking like how lucky I was to have the job and about how I could play the character as best I could. I was just so busy with that, it didn't occur to me. And everyone was wonderful to me, and I felt completely and utterly safe at every single moment with Jared, Jensen, Misha, Alex, Rob, Richard, whoever, 100%. So it was a wonderful environment. That being said, I will say that what I learned, it was probably like a year later, I read online that the statistics for SAG, you know, our union, they keep a note of everything, and including background, but it doesn't matter. Including every actor on screen in America that year, for every 1 part for a woman, there was 9 parts for men. And I remember being at the convention and like that weekend and looking up on the board, and I was so thrilled because my face was on the board, and there was 9 guys and me, and I was like, oh wow. And so then it started to dawn on me, like I always knew how hard it was to get a job, but then the reality, like the rest of the world, we're all catching on. Wait a minute, I don't think things have been fair. And at that point, the supernatural writers and producers were catching on. And they'd even hired slightly, you know, people move on naturally, they had different writers. They started to write more for women. I was allowed to continue as a female character. They brought more women in, and I'm so really proud to say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. Is that right? up there this weekend. And that in part, there was a bit of a presumption because it's a male-led show and that everyone loves the boys, but there was a presumption that women weren't valuable. But you've all turned up, you're all sitting here today. So many of you have pictures with so many of the women, and thank you so much. You've been part of the progress that I think needed to happen. So that's my little bit of that's my journey within this. So I didn't come in with any preconceptions, and I've just always felt like I was fortunate to work. But you know, you learn as you go, and we're much more aware now, aren't we? We're also much more aware of just what the baseline is. And what would be really great is if we had more and more different ethnicities and people with disabilities too. And we know we have that, and we're getting there. So anyway, thanks for your question. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Mickey, and I wanted to ask you.
Mickey, your name's Mickey?
Mhm.
That's such a cool name.
Thank you.
Hey Mickey, you're so fun, you're so fun. Bring my hand in, Mickey. Do you know that song? Are you too young?
Yeah, my teacher sings it every time that I come into the classroom.
Is she very young and attractive too?
Very.
Great, got it.
I wanted to ask you that if you could make a trailer of your life, what moments would it consist of?
Wow! Well, there would definitely be a shot of me as a slight, I'm not going to say, it wasn't slightly chubby, it was chubby, slightly square. I was sort of 2 feet by 2 feet, slightly gingerish, naked Scottish child in a basin in the back garden. It's just one of my memories that I have. So there'd be a flash of that. There would be a flash of me in a ballet class. There'd be a flash of me on stage in the Nutcracker. There would be me in black leggings, black Doc Martens, and a really real baggy jumpers. Then there'd be a picture, there'd be a bit of me when I discovered dresses in my 20s. And definitely the first time I was on stage speaking. And then there would be a snapshot of me, probably cross-legged as I turned 30 something, figuring out that life was an inside job, not what you were achieving, and starting to become more mystical, spiritual, everything else. Then at 38, I think it was, or however old I was, you'd be me in the Rowena costume with tons of eyeshadow on. We'd miss out some of the bad bits, do you know what I mean? There's no need, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, there would be the scene where I'm accepting my Oscar, I don't know. For what, I don't know, but for something. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
That's an awesome question, Mickey, for somebody with an awesome name who looks awesome, so thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone give a clap for Mickey. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I hope you're getting warmed up in your seats for your dancing. You know, just flex your ankles a little bit. You know, relax your shoulders off. Hi.
Hello, I'm Megan from Louisville, Kentucky,
Hi.
and I wanted to know what your favorite ballet was.
Wow. So, it's a bit like Hamlet. You know, when people say Hamlet's their favorite play, there's a reason. It's brilliant. And literally, Swan Lake, there is music in Swan Lake, and certain pas de deux especially, that are just what you think of when you think of ballet. I performed in the Nutcracker, and I think that's a great ballet for kids to go and see, and adults to see at Christmas, and I think it's wonderful and joyful and it's really accessible. I was in Giselle, and I loved being a little person in Giselle, like a little dancer. I was in Napoli, which is there's tons and tons of ballets that are not kind of common, you know. There is a ballet mostly for men called oh my god, I'm going to say it wrong. It's not called Spartacus. Is it Sparta? Is it called Sparta? And it's a ballet I wish every young person could see because it's so athletic. It's like, you see it and you're like, wow, you know, people leaping across the stage. It's based on the kind of Olympic Games of way back in time. And it makes dance really, really exciting. So I love that one. I should probably stop talking about ballet now because I could keep going for ages and ages. I follow, most of my Instagram feed is dancing. Because it's really hard in the morning to see, like, I just saw this video yesterday. This little guy, he must be about 8 years old, and he's like, oh, and you like, you can't see that and not feel good. Do you know what I mean? It's like dance is amazing. However you can do it, even if you can't walk, you can just movement, that feeling of dancing, I think is so important. And I don't think we do it enough, do we? So we're all gonna do it. Thank you for your question because you just gave me a great segue. So everybody stand up, come on. Stand up. Stand up. I'm going to come to your question, I promise. And so this is Dee's fault, everyone. Everyone shout, thank you, Dee. You're getting your Sunday workout? Okay, so the song is I Believe in Miracles. Do you all know it? No? Who said no? What is that? So you've all got to sing along as well. Okay? That's part of the deal. And I will come and hex you if you don't. So, we're going to start. Does anybody got a first dance move they'd like to do? Anyone? No? Just me? Okay. Well, it's your fault then, whatever I choreograph, that's fine. So we're going to start off with, we're just going to like, give it a bit of a hip bop. Bum, 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 bum. Do you know what I mean? I want your hands on your hips. I want like attitude. Do you know what I mean? Just like bum, 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 just a bit warm up. And then we're going to go, both arms up. That's it. Come on, let me see you. Come on. Come on. So you've got about okay, 4 of those. It's quite fast. And then you're going to do the lasso. Other arm. Okay? And then I want you all to do this thing where you go, you do that with your face. That's it, that was great. Come out here. Do you think I can't see you, but I can? Yeah? No, you're okay. This you come. I'm not going to come close to you. You can stand. Okay. Come stand here. You were great. Okay, so you're going to help this side, okay?
All right.
Right, and I'm going to help this side. Okay, so we're just going to have a rehearsal. Can we have a bit of rehearsal with music, just so everyone gets the idea? There we go. Ready? Yeah! Ready, 6, 7, 8. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. That's it. And lasso. This bit. There, it was great. Right, okay. And then you're just going to freestyle. Okay, whatever you want. Yeah, she's got it. Okay? One more practice, then I'm going to film you. Okay, thank you. Ready? Okay, we're ready. Ready? Done. 5, 6, 7, 8. Lasso. And freestyle. Woo! Yeah. Carlson. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so the only thing missing is, what's your name? Steph, you're doing a great job. Isn't she doing a great job? So the only thing missing is I want to hear you when you do this. Woo! I just want to hear you scream, okay? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, you ready? I'm going to Instagram live this to like 1 million people, literally. I don't have any consent forms, so you're all consenting, yes? If you don't want to do it, you have to leave. This is going to be awesome. I've literally never done anything like this before. My Instagram. Okay, I'm checking connection. Checking connection. Oh, we're live. Everyone in Cheetown say hi. Yeah. Okay, so we prepared something really special for all your delectations. We've got some really miraculously sexy people. I'd like to shake their booties for you. Are you ready? Yeah, there's like 400 people saying they're ready. Okay, are you ready? And cue the music, sir. Thank you. Hips, ready? Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 2. Yeah, good job, everyone. Freestyling, we're so freestyling. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to my lovely assistants. Bye.
She's certainly shy.
That was good, wasn't it? That woke you up. That upset your hangovers. Thanks for watching. This is just how we roll. Okay, bye. Bye. I would tag you all, it would take too long. Yeah, there was like 1,000 people on by the end, so don't worry. End now. Okay, view highlights. Share. I'm going to share it as a post, and I'm going to tag it all later. It's there. So you can all tag yourselves or something afterwards. I don't know how it works. Thank you. That was fun, right? I was surprised by how into the freestyling bit you all were. I wish I could have been here last night and seen you all dancing to Loud and Swain. Was it good? Yeah? I was passed out asleep by 10 o'clock just because I'm rock and roll and have jet lag. But because of that, I'm like awake today, so it's worth it, right? So you've been very patient. Oh, hi. What's your name? Where are you from, etc.?
My name is Gael.
Gaia?
Gael.
Gael. Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Minnesota, but my mom's from Guatemala.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
I like your pants.
Thank you.
Do you see? I can't say pants anymore in a Scottish accent. I say pants. You notice that? You know, pants. That's because I've got a boyfriend from Missouri. Pants. The thing is, if I say it as strong as he says it, it sounds like I'm doing a bad accent, but that's actually how they say it. Pants. It's like pants. It is, right? Anyway, sorry, I like your pants.
Thank you. That's really
They're
accurate.
similar, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was just wondering if you could talk about one of your favorite experiences as a performer in general. With your dancing and with your acting, just anything that really sticks out and is memorable for you.
You know, it's like if you're ever performing and you have a moment of flow, that's it. That's how we do it. And you might have 7 hours on set where you don't, and then you have a minute where you do, and it's like crack. It's why I do what I do, because I think human beings, we love that feeling of being in flow, of being in joy, where we're not self-conscious and thinking all the worrisome thoughts we can all think about when we're just doing what we're doing, and it feels energized and alive, and like there's a point to it, and that you're making your contribution. And so any moment that happens where you feel like you hit it is gold. And honestly, you might have days where you feel like none of it is. And sometimes that's your best work, but you just don't know. So it's really hard to pinpoint like a specific job or scene or something, because it's usually moments. You're lucky. It's like, you know, if you're meditating and you actually get a moment of where you're not thinking, you know, that thing that you're aiming for, and you actually get it, you're like, oh, who here meditates? Yeah, I feel like there's tons of ways of meditating. Like that doesn't. It's not like that we don't realize that we are. Like I think, for example, dancing can be a moving meditation. I think anything that puts you in flow. So if you're asking me like for a specific job or moment or something, where like I felt like like in the rupture. Sometimes when you have a big scene and you're kind of aware it could be good or it's important, you don't get it. But that day, Jared was, you know, the bit where I'm like, kill me, kill me. That day, I was really overtired because I'd been at a convention the whole weekend before, and but I was playing my music. I was playing my Latin hymn music in my ears, and there's a couple of moments in there that felt like, oh yeah, like when you get, you know, Jared and I were really, he was trying so hard, and I was trying so hard, and there were a couple of moments there that were like, oh yeah, I've done this for 6 years, and I knew I was coming back, but I knew you didn't know I was coming back. And like, so it kind of was like, oh, it's fortunate that within this, there's a couple of moments where I felt like that was it. And then they put some beautiful kind of Celtic music to it, and milked it for all it was worth. So that's just a tiny example. There's probably like a moment or two in there, but it's hard to say like a whole thing, because that's what it is. It's fleeting, I think. Thank you so much for your lovely question, for being so lovely. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name's Aurora and I'm from Wisconsin.
Aurora?
Oh, go Wisconsin.
Aurora?
Aurora.
Such a gorgeous name as well. That's from Sleeping Beauty, isn't it?
Funny story behind it. I was actually named after the water tower.
That's cool too.
Thank you. What was your favorite, what was your favorite season to film?
Favorite season? I like the one where I had 12 episodes. You know, it's funny because I felt like there was a point in time where after season 11, like the end of season 11 was such a blast. I mean, Ilse Grisha did say it was like herding cats. I think I said that yesterday. We just had such a good time at the end of the season. Jensen's trailer. And it was a great time socially. But after all that stuff, it was like in season 13, Rowena is a little bit like she just wants to drink cocktails in her tennis club in Boca Raton and like marry her, you know, her guy until Shepard blows his head off. There's a moment where Rowena didn't feel like she had a massive ambition. Like she was just a bit like, oh, it's all been a bit much. And actually I found that quite hard, I realised, because I think, you know, if whether it was getting her own back on the mega coven, or finding her son, or whatever it's been, it's always good to have a real strong, you know. So I found that a little bit trickier, where I was like, when Rowena doesn't know what to do, I don't know what to do so much either. So I was so glad then when it kind of came back, you know, that her purpose then became, you know, to, you know, with her son, like maybe get him back, or you know, become the Queen of Hell. Or, you know, I'm so glad when I had those stronger tools. So what was your question? What was your question?
What your favorite season to film was?
So I don't know my favorite season, like, not just because they all sort of merge into one at this point in time at all, but it's hard to say a favorite season. There's been real pockets of things that I really enjoyed in all of them. And it was just so exciting. It was so exciting earlier on to just keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. When, as somebody else said, like they just didn't used to do that. And it just felt really right. And like this was my job and this is where I was supposed to be. And then they burnt me to a crisp off screen. And that was really hard. I didn't like that. I didn't like it for her. I didn't like it for me. It's funny how that happens too. Like, you know, I was like, oh, do you remember the bit when like Lucifer had burnt me to the ginger crisp? And I was really disturbed. I was watching it in my living room in Scotland at 4 o'clock in the morning because of the time difference, and I was like, oh, this is awful. So I didn't like that bit. And then it was a little while before, you know, I knew I was coming back, but it was a little while, so I didn't like that either. I just liked it when I was on set working, really. Those were my favourite seasons, just when I was filming. Yeah. So. Thank you so much for your question. Krista, where are you going? Oh, it's okay. She's very loyal otherwise. She's very dedicated.
Hi. So yesterday you were talking a little bit about like moments that were almost like eerie, where like you felt like they were like outside of just like human control, if that makes sense, like spirituals and things like that. So I recently had my first tarot card reading with someone who was connected to like historic tarot card readings from Italy and Rome. And it was eerily, scarily accurate. So I guess just as someone who's interested in kind of that realm of things, like, have you had any other experiences, maybe like with like spirits or like tarot readings or you know, anything like that? I guess I'm just intrigued by your experiences.
Who came to my witching hour last night? How fun was that? And the thing is, like, it's not about me, it's not about the reader usually, it's like, how good were the cards? Amazing. Wasn't it? Amazing. It was really funny. And at one point I said, who was the person I said to, you know, it's like, it's sort of telling you to like, you know, just put your face in the sun for 20 minutes a day, top up your vitamin D. Who was there? Are you here? And they were like, because he'd been diagnosed with a vitamin D deficiency. Right? Life is full of, it's possible all the time. And I think we need to live in the here and now and be, I'm very Scottish and pragmatic and like, pay my bills. You know what I mean? I think you do your due diligence and you work and I think to not be connected to, I mean, it's why we're all here. These stories are all supernatural and we love that sci-fi element because it sort of enables us to be more human in a way when things are more spiritual. It actually allows you to be more human. Gives you permission to be more feeling or be more intrigued or more of anything you want it to be. So all the time, there's so many experiences all the time. I think coincidences all the time. I think is like life is like a matrix. Tiny example I'll give you is that on the film that I was shooting, the director's best friend is designing the interior of Neil Gaiman's house. And I was like, oh, I said he's executive producer on my next show. So he takes a selfie of me and sends it to Neil Gaiman. And I'm like, oh, my brain's melting. And it's like, what are the chances of that coincidence? They happened to be in a text conversation with him, and we just had that conversation. And like, now I'm really embarrassed to meet Neil Gaiman because he's seen a really bad selfie of me. I think life's magic all the time. Was that a good enough example?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Who doesn't believe in anything supernatural here? No one? You don't believe in anything supernatural? But you just love the show?
Yeah, I just love the show.
Yeah, it's good for you. You're allowed. You're totally allowed. Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, how do you view Rowena and Sam's relationship? Do you see it as more romantic, or do you see it more as mother and son?
I mean, who's not read fanfic here? You guys are weird, man. You're so weird. This was mentioned actually on set. They were talking about Good Omens and how there's not a single piece of fanfic where, anyway, you can imagine. I just think they're two people who both gone through similar trauma, and so can relate to each other and have a fondness for each other. There's a tiny chink in Rowena's armour for Sam, and for sure he's just such a big-hearted person anyway. But they've both been through similar levels of trauma, and I thought that was important. You know, she's been burnt to a crisp, which I made a joke of, but I thought I tried when the conversation in the back of the car, which is one of my favourite scenes for Rowena and Sam, I tried to make that real, because when you're watching Supernatural, you're relating to it, and it's like, this is about trauma. It's about people who've been abused by someone they wanted to be in a relationship with, or that they thought could help them in life, and in fact destroyed them. For me, I tried to make that really, I tried to make that real, because it's what the point was, I think. So I don't think, I mean, you can write your fanfic, and for sure she thinks he's cute, for sure she thinks so many people are cute. Rowena, she's she's not blind, but I think it's more about a recognition, like a kind of soulful recognition, rather than like a pictorials and abs. I mean, she can tell that they're great. She can definitely tell that he's fit. Does that answer your question? Okay. Hi.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
Robin from Chicago.
Great. Hi.
Hey, my question to you is, if you were to be a magic spell, what would you be and why?
If I were to be a magic spell,
Yes.
I would be a magic spell, and you would suddenly have chocolate in your pocket. And it would be called Rowena Ruth Abracadabra Kazoo. Chocolate Vanu, which is Scottish for just now. That would be the spell. Yeah? Is that okay? Okay. I already do that spelling myself all the time. I've never more than like 20 feet from a piece of chocolate. See? Is it Godiva? Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if you knew how impactful Rowena would be in the later seasons when you took her as a character.
I never, early on when I first got the part, I think I've told people this story before, I wasn't told not to tell anyone. The casting office had said to my agent, we don't think Ruth quite understands the Supernatural fandom and the impact it might have, because I was playing Fergus's Crowley's mum, right? Anyway, I got up about whatever time, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, went to go to the bathroom, and I could see, you know the thing where you touch your phone, which you shouldn't do, blue light in your face, and there was like 131, I don't have notifications on my phone anymore, but this was on Twitter, and I had like maybe 170 followers on Twitter, and there was like 131 notifications, and I was like, I had a heart attack, and it was like, because somebody had said in the Christian Post, I think it was, that I was going to be playing Rowena, and I could see, I mean, all the messages were like, oh, and early on, one of the early things that I ever read from those notifications was, there's not much job security if you're a woman in Supernatural. And I just was so not worried, because I was like, if I could do 7 or 8, I saw that Abaddon, and I didn't know Elena, but it was funny that I thought of her. I thought she'd done like maybe 8 episodes, and I thought if I could do 7 or 8 episodes of this show, my life would be changed, and it would have been changed forever. But once I started to do it, once I started to do it, I just didn't see a reason for it to stop. And I'm so glad It didn't, because I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have met you all. Who's that?
No, you wouldn't have.
So that's it. So that's everything I'm going to say today. That was a nice note for me to end on, wasn't it?
That was a great note. I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounded wonderful.
It was a lovely wedding. It's fantastic. How was it? Was it delightful?
It was actually nice.
Wow, that's a change.
Yeah, weird.
Usually the crowd gets real aggressive. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruth Connell.
She's a